Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 4, final round of the League Challenge that happened at Die Hard Games on January 11th, 2024. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. League Challenge, Thursday, February 15th at 6 p.m., and League Cup, Saturday, February 24th at 11 a.m. Both Central Time, both at Die Hard Games. And check out Pokemon's event locator for premier events there, such as League Challenges, League Cups, and pre-releases. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's get into this game. On the left, Mew. On the right, Entei, Iron Valiant. It looks like our Mew player is going first here. Iron Valiant loves that, but I think this Mew does as well. Either way, Battle VIP Pass will be instantly played. The infamous item card that can only be played on your first turn, but when you do, search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon to put onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck afterwards, of course. Genesect and Mew will be found here. Depends on what's in hand, of course, but definitely one Genesect will at least be found. Kind of tricky. Like, you need the Genesect in play, but they are weak to fire. Big note there. So yeah, Mew V and Genesect V will be found off of the Battle VIP. Cramomatic being eyeballed here. That's an item card. You have to discard an item card in order to activate Cramomatic. Then you flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for any card. If tails, nothing. But at least the card is thinned. Alright, I think our Mew player is done going into the deck at this point. They're going to shuffle up. Let's see what else they have in their hand. They cannot play a supporter this turn because it is their first turn, them going first. An energy attachment would be cool. I think the Cramomatic, if it was heads there, finds another VIP pass, but it doesn't look like there's really anything else that needs to be played. A Fusion Strike energy is put onto the bench, Genesect V, to play around any Spiritomb shenanigans. Pat to the Peak put into play, and play resumes over on Entei's side, where a Magma Basin is top decked. Looks like there was a Magma Basin in hand, the League Magma Basin. Maybe that's the one that should be put into play here. Lost Vacuum does not need to be played. Okay, let's see here. We had Metacham V and these other cards. All these cards are in hand here. There is no Entei in play yet. We do have the Squawkabilly EX, and thankfully that Magma Basin is found. So Squawkabilly Squawk and Seize is online. Something that could happen. Let's see. It's very good getting the. Let's talk about Squawk and Seize. Squawk and Seize, you can only use it on your first turn when you do discard your hand and draw 6 new cards. So Squawk and Seize is definitely going to be used here. Squawk and Seize is getting rid of fire energy. Magma Basin accelerates fire energy from the discard pile to the bench fire Pokemon. So we've got a fire energy that can be accelerated. So something that could happen here is boss's orders could bring up the benched fire weak Genesect V, and then Squawk and Seize could be used to try to draw into Entei some basic Pokemon and an energy. We'll then also need a switch card to get the Entei into the active spot to KO the opposing Fire Weak Genesect V. It's kind of a lot to ask for off of 6 cards, but then again, that's what this deck is built to do, so that is a potential play that could happen. Boss's orders on the Genesect V, and then try to draw into the Entei basic Pokemon needed to boost its Burning Rondo enough, at least bring it to 100 damage. Then times 2 would take the KO on the opposing Genesect. Switching card, Entei V, basic Pokemon, and energy. 4 different things needed off of 6 cards here, so let's see what happens. If that's the route that's chosen. Looks like we're kind of foregoing the boss play here, because on the other side of the Squawkabilly Squawkin' Seas, a professor's research or course experiment could be found to dig deeper into the deck and find all those pieces to put together a KO, even on the 180 HP active Mew. So definitely a tough decision here of what exactly to do, but just going to go for the Squawkin' Seas, discarding the hand, no supporter played yet, drawing 6 fresh new cards. And let's see what happens. Nest Ball and Radiant Charizard in hand. Entei in hand. So we've got the Pokemon needed. Or, the Pokemon that were needed would have been found if the boss on the Genesect route was played. Switch card is in hand. So now was there an energy in hand? Either way, Nest Ball is played here to search the deck for a basic Pokemon to add to the bench. And now we're debating on finding more Entei or finding that Iron Valiant. Let's see what our player decides to do. Depends on what's in hand. Iron Valiant's good, but once these Mew evolve, then the Tachyon bits don't matter too much. They're going to be two-shotting anyways. The Genesect V is weak to fire, so again, the Tachyon bits don't matter too much on it. But totally just depends on what's in hand. Nest Ball is finally going to find an Entei V. Makes sense. You got to get your attackers established before you can do all your other tricky stuff. There is an energy in hand. Okay, so back up to that boss play we were talking about. If there was a boss on the Genesect, then the Squawkin' Seas used. There is a Radiant Charizard in hand that would bring Burning Rondo up to 100 damage times 2 on the Genesect. That would have gotten the KO on it. So punished for not going for the all-in aggressive play here. Also unlucky for not finding another supporter to continue digging through the deck and reaching for the KO on the active Mew V as well. Basic switch being played to switch into that Entei V. Fleet-footed being activated here. Once Entei V is in the active spot, it can use Fleet-footed to draw another card. Nest Ball is found off of that Fleet-footed, so more punishment for not taking the boss on the Genesect play. But just going to keep rolling with things here. Having fun at the League Challenge on a Thursday night at the shop. Nest Ball will find that Iron Valiant, bringing it into play to join the party. And Entei V is just going to attack into the opposing Mew for 120. I think I was saying with 5 Pokemon on the bench, Entei was doing 100. It's actually doing 120, excuse me. And play will continue over on Mew's side, where a Power Tablet is played, giving plus 30 damage to Fusion Strike Pokemon attacks. Forest Seal Stone was attached to that Genesect on the bench as well, giving it the V-Star Power ability Star Alchemy to search the deck for any card. And let's see what our Mew players got. Judge, starting things off with Judge. That supporter card has both players shuffle their hand into their deck, and then they each draw 4 cards. Our Mew player really didn't want to judge the Entei player as they only had 2 cards in hand, but my philosophy is you do not stifle your own setup in order to deny your opponent resources. Like, you need those resources to set up. So even if you give your opponent more, oh well. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get yourself set up and into the game and into a potentially better situation. So we just want some playable cards off of Judge in order to top back off with this Genesect V and its Fusion Strike system ability. 4 cards for each player here. Double Turbo Energy is attached to the bench Mew V. Very good. Lost Vacuum being played, sending a card to the Lost Zone, and then Lost Zoning a Tool card or a Stadium card in play. That Magma Basin sent to the Lost Zone. 1 card in hand now, so we can Fusion Strike system with that Genesect for up to 3 cards, since there's 3 Fusion Strike Pokemon in play. And now it starts. Another Genesect V is found and put onto the bench. Choice Belt attached to that Mew V on the bench. Another Fusion Strike system to draw up to 4 cards here. Now all we need is the Mew V Max in order to take the KO on the opposing Entei V. Another Mew V put into play. And we let Mew V do its thing. Forest Seal Stone, Star Alchemy activated in order to search the deck for a card. It looks like the only thing that's missing is the Mew V Max, so that is most likely what will be found here. Kind of stinks to use the Forest Seal Stone like a Ultra Ball or Feather Ball here, but that's okay. That's exactly what it's there for, to get you what you need when you need it. Mew V Max evolved on the bench. Mew free retreats into that Mew V Max. Mew V Max uses, what is that attack called? Cross Fusion Strike, something. Either way, Mew V Max has the attack where it can copy a attack from bench Fusion Strike Pokemon. It's going to copy Genesect V's Technoblast with the Choice Belt and the Power Tablet. More than enough to take the KO on the opposing Entei V. There's the hand for the Entei V. Still in the game. Now who to promote into the active spot? There was the Tooth Stone. I didn't catch the other cards either. So that's how you decide who to promote into the active, based off of what's in hand. Our Entei player is consulting the hand there, trying to decide the best course of action. Squawkabilly EX put into the active spot. Maybe. Actually gonna go with Entei V, and play resumes over on Entei's side. There's the Battle VIP pass after turn 1, of course. Starting things off with Fleet-Footed to draw a card. Thanks Entei. Looked like another Entei was found. It's Buddy. That other Entei V is put onto the bench. Forest Seal Stone attached to the active Entei V. Magma Basin put into play. Magma Basin will be able to accelerate a fire energy from the discard pile to a bench fire Pokemon. It takes 20 damage if energy is accelerated that way. So I think with the Forest Seal Stone, there's an attack. Forest Seal Stone, Star Alchemy activated to search the deck for a card. You usually want to see more cards to put the combo together so that Professor's Research is being eyed up here. Just depends on what's in hand. Forest Seal Stone and something else in hand. The Charizard, maybe? No, that was shuffled back in with the Judge. Alright, looks like the Professor's Research is settled on here. Any other cards to play from hand before? Nope, Professor's Research. Debating on getting rid of another, and there we go. So the third Entei V, I guess fourth technically, is being debated on put onto the bench before the research or not. I think you do not put it down since the opponent has 4 prize cards remaining. If they knock out the 2 Entei in play, that's the game. So keep your bench free for things like the Radiant Charizard, more Tachyon bits, just more options. Potentially the Metacham can come in and Yoga Loop. So yeah, just gonna discard all the cards in hand with the Professor's Research and draw 7 new cards. Switch card and energy card are what are needed here in order to get an attack off. Since Research is played, nothing like Boss's Orders will be played. I guess something like an Escape Rope would be cool to KO something on the bench, but really the prize map here is knock out 2 Mew VMAX. With 1 boss gone, it's kind of hard to knock out 3 2 prize Pokemon. Only 1 boss left in deck. So we've got to play to the outs and plan on KOing 2 Mew VMAX this game for 6 prize cards at this point. Since a turn 1 KO was not achieved, Bravery Charm is put onto the bench Entei V, giving it plus 50 HP. That Lost Vacuum is unfortunately gone to get rid of the Choice Belt on the Mew VMAX and force more Power Tablets or another Choice Belt or modifier. Alright, Magma Basin will accelerate a fire energy from the discard pile to that benched Entei V. Fire energy attached from hand to it as well. We must have the switch card in hand, so potentially debating on which switch card to use. Something like the rope or just the basic switch or switch card. Future Booster Energy Capsule attached to the benched Iron Valiant. Basic switch being used to bring the Iron Valiant into the active spot. Its Tachyon Bits ability activates since it moved into the active spot, and it can place 2 damage counters on one of the opponent's Pokemon. 2 more damage counters put on to that damaged Mew V on the bench. The Iron Valiant free retreats into the Entei V thanks to its Future Booster Energy Capsule. That gives future Pokemon plus 20 damage to their attack and free retreat. Entei, powered up with the Bravery Charm, comes into the active spot. We've got to shuffle up before a Fleet-Footed is used here to draw 1 more card. Nothing else but to do but attack. Burning Rondo for 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16. 160 damage. Threatening the 2-shot on that Mew VMAX. And play resumes over on Mew's side. So Mew does have to go to the bench in order to attack again. Mew VMAX. Mew VMAX on the bench evolves. Double turbo energy attached to it. So now we definitely have an attack, because you could just retreat into the fresh Mew VMAX and it can attack. Feather Ball being played to search the deck for a Pokemon with free retreat. Mew VMAX is found. Let's see, the Mew V on the bench has 140 damage on it. So this would be the way to protect it. Give it more HP. But then you are putting the 6 prizes in play for the Entei player. And both Mews are in, have been hit already hard enough, so they've only got 1 hit left. They're going to get 2-shot. But it looks like our Mew VMAX player is deciding to give it more HP. Just fine here. Cramorant being played here. Discarding a Cramorant. The coin is flipped, or the die is rolled heads. That means, or evens. 6, that means heads. So now any card can be found. Probably the Lost Vacuum here to get rid of the Bravery Charm on the Entei V. So let's see here. Assuming the active Mew VMAX attacks again somehow, it's got the Choice Belt. So its attack, if it copies the Genesect attack, will be doing 220. Entei V currently has 280, 260 HP since it's damaged. So yeah, we definitely have to get rid of the Bravery Charm here, or find a bunch of power tablets, modifiers, but the Lost Vacuum will do it. Let's see if that's what our Mew VMAX player went for. Looks like we're going to use our Fusion Strike system to draw up to 5 cards here, since there are 5 Fusion Pokemon in play. Another Genesect is put down. The board is now complete for our Mew VMAX player. There's a Lost Vacuum, sending a Feather Ball to the Lost Zone in order to send that Bravery Charm into the Lost Zone. Another Fusion Strike system to draw up to 6 cards this time. And let's see how our Mew player can build the board even more. A free retreat into the Genesect. Then switch cart. Now Mew VMAX can copy Technoblast again and has a Choice Belt, so we're swinging for 220 and the knockout. Guaranteed. Another Fusion Strike system to draw a card. Hisuian Heavy Ball is played. When you play that card, you look at your prize cards, and you could switch Hisuian Heavy Ball with any basic Pokemon you find there. If no basic Pokemon are found or chosen, Hisuian Heavy Ball just goes to the discard pile. The prizes are shuffled up and placed back down again, of course. So our Mew player got there, thanks to that Cram-O-Matic. Nothing left to do but attack. Mew VMAX copies Genesect V's Technoblast. With the Choice Belt, it's doing 220 damage. More than enough to KO the opposing Entei V. It's already damaged as well, so yep, it's gone. 2 more prize cards for our Mew player. The free retreater goes into the active spot, of course, on the Entei side, and play resumes there. So if we could fill the bench up, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16. Nope, we've currently got enough Pokemon in play to take the KO with Entei V, but we need an energy card. Magma Basin can accelerate one, but one more is needed from hand. Course Experiment appears to be the supporter for turn. That allows the player to look at the top 5 cards of the deck, put 3 of them into the hand, and the other 2 into the lost zone. So energy card is needed here. That's it. Maybe a backup attacker. It would be great to attack with the Charizard, the Radiant Charizard here. Since the Mew player has 2 prize cards left, the Radiant Charizard would be perfect because it only needs 1 fire energy on it in order to attack thanks to its Excited Heart ability since the opponent only has 2 prize cards remaining. Plus, it's also worth only 1 prize. So it would force something like a boss's orders from the Mew player in order to take 2 prizes and the game the next turn. So, hunting for that Radiant Charizard. If not, at least an energy to attack and keep the pressure going. Alright, we've got the energy. There's a earthen vessel. Definitely have to keep that from the 5 Course Experiments cards. And let's see what else is kept and what's sent to the lost zone. Depends on what's in hand, of course, what's in the discard, everything like that. So we're consulting the hand here. Looks like switch cart, maybe another supporter. Kind of want to keep the other supporter too, to keep things going on the next turn if there is a next turn. So it seems to be a pretty tough course experiment here. Ooh, but finally going to let go of the professor's research and the escape rope. Okay. Earthen Vessel being played here. You have to discard a card in order to play that card. When you do, search your deck for up to 2 basic energy. There was at least 1 basic energy still in the deck, so that's found. Looks like we do have an attack with an Entei, at least. Energy attached to the Entei. Energy accelerated to the Entei with the Magma Basin. Okay, and with the switch and switch card, the Entei can be healed and attack with full health. Entei has 230 HP, so 2 modifiers are needed in order to KO it if it's at full health. So Iron Valiant free retreats into that Entei. Fleet-footed is used to draw a card. Switch cart is used to switch the Entei into the Iron Valiant and also healing 30 damage off of the Entei. Then a switch is played to bring Entei back into the active spot. Since Iron Valiant moved into the active spot there, Tachyon Bits is activated, so 20 damage can be placed on the opponent's field. I think that's what our players are working out now, catching and working out now. So sure, put 2 more damage on the thing that already has a lot of damage. There are 6 prizes to be taken on Mew's side and on both the heavily damaged Mew VMAX. And Burning Rondo for the KO and 3 prizes. Now we pray that the Mew VMAX does not have game this turn. Mew VMAX straight up has Boss's Orders in hand. Boss's Orders brings up that 160 HP Squawkabilly. And Mew VMAX copies Genesect V's um, Technoblast attack for 190 damage to KO the opposing 2-prize Squawkabilly EX, taking the last 2 prizes of the game. Still an interesting game there. Oh, and there was boss's orders in hand for an Entei player. So as long as they could have developed an attacker on the next turn, they had game the next turn. So Mew V takes the game down. Kind of a shaky start, potential misplay to begin with, but still a great game overall. Congrats to our January League Challenge champ, our Mew player here. Very nicely done. And top 4. Second place was our Entei player. Third place was our Lost Radiant Charizard player. I think it was Lost Radiant Charizard. Anyways, fourth place was our Mewtwo EX player, actually. And as always, thank you all for playing some Pokemon. What'd you think of this video in the commentary? Please let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.